diary of a sociopathic mother-in-law next door entry. Today's date is Wednesday, 29th of October 2025. It's been, I think it was the 8th of September, my last entry, so it's been a good 8 weeks. Wow, how time flies. Here we are, 29th of October, approaching Halloween, where the veil between the physical and the spiritual thins, and the veil is almost lifted, and for sure the veil is now lifted in terms of the husk and what's beneath that hard, tough exterior. So this might be a long one. I'm going to try and blast through it. So in the last update, about 8 weeks ago, she had ran away from home looking for attention, and about 2.5 weeks had passed. She sent the beacon a text saying, "When can I talk? I've got things to tell you." And the beacon responded with something along the lines of, "I'm not quite ready to talk. I'm hurt and angry." And obviously the husk couldn't help herself. She had to instantly send back, "I'm hurt and angry too." A great empathy there, isn't there, for our daughter. So anyway, fast forward about 6 weeks, and the husk has had the odd comings and goings. You're collecting things from our lair, always avoiding her daughter coming at times of the day where she knows she's not going to be in, because she was avoiding her. She wants the beacon to run round after her. So anyway, it gets to the point, me and the beacon have had this conversation where, oh no, hold on, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So eventually it gets to the point where I'm fed up to the back teeth of not knowing what's going on. The ATM's house is on the market. She's clearly ran away from home. It would appear she's moved out. And I'm starting to get frustrated. So on this one occasion, I think it's a Saturday, Beacon's in the house, I'm out in the driveway, and the husk walks up the driveway as if she owns the place, and she's come to get something, and I'm like, "When you hand the keys in?" You know, I'm not being helpful, but that's the way she makes you feel. Oh, we've just got a little visitor here. Hello. Hello. Go on. Come on. Come on. Go on, go on, go on. Go on. Go on. Right, where was I? Just make sure we're still recording. Yes, still recording. Right. I'm not being helpful, but obviously it's difficult. She's just not telling us what the hell's going on, leaving us in limbo. waiting for Beacon to run round after her. Right. So she's very confrontational with me. Anyway, say when you hand the keys in, when somebody will talk to us, well, I'm here, I'll talk to you. You know, she doesn't want to talk to me because she knows she can't manipulate me anymore. She knows I've washed my hands of her. So she wants the Beacon to run round after her. The silent treatment hasn't worked. She's sent one of her flying monkeys. Just prior to that, Roadkill was doing a typical flying monkey job where she texted and, I don't know how things are with you and Mum. I just couldn't forgive myself if I didn't ask if you want to come to the theatre with us next week. No, you've been sent as a flying monkey to test the water and to see if the Beacon will just, capitulate and say, oh yes, I'll come to the theatre and pretend. Morning. I'll come to the theatre and pretend everything's okay. Like a fake dysfunctional family that we are. That's what the flying monkey did. That's what Roadkill's role was. So anyway, back to this Husk has come to the lair and had a confrontation with me. So I go into the house and quickly speak to Beacon and just say, look, the Husk is across there. I've just had another confrontation with her on the driveway. Please will you just go over and speak to her and find out what the hell's going on. Gonna have to... Morning.
Hello.
Morning.
What a beauty.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, it's lovely.
Give me a bit of room there.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, Beacon, look, will you just go across and speak to her? I know that you don't particularly want to, but are you ever going to want to? Anyway, she gets it. She gets the importance, and she's just going to have to go over there and deal with it. This can't go on forever. This was like 8 weeks of running away from home. Silent treatment hasn't worked. Flying monkey didn't work. Now she's coming back purposely when she knows the Beacon's in, or that there's a good chance that she's in. See what she's doing here. She's trying. This is not about her moving out. This is about her using typical tactics that these narcissistic people play. Silent treatment. When it doesn't work, flying monkey. When it doesn't work, antagonise you. Get a reaction out of you. So anyway, Beacon goes across there. She's away for, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes. Hour max. I'm on tenterhooks. Because I know she's going to try the manipulation game now that she's got the Beacon to herself. So anyway, Beacon comes out of the lair back to the house, and obviously straight away I'm firstly, are you okay? Yes. And then she explains what's just happened. We'll try and keep this brief, otherwise I'll be on all day and can't be bothered to run that far. So anyway, she goes in there, straight away the Husk goes to give her a hug. Hello my darling, fake affection. She's basically ignored her for 8 weeks. Hello my darling, Husk. And then she goes to give her a cuddle. This is a woman who has never, ever given her daughter love and affection and hugs. This is a woman who, when her daughter needed a hug, after stepdad's funeral, there was no hug. There was no hug there. She was left hanging. This is a woman who, when her daughter needed a hug, after she had clearly been crying over the loss of stepdad, you know, when she put her own feelings first for a change, instead of running around after the Husk in the aftermath of stepdad's passing, when she eventually had time to put her own feelings first and have a teary moment, and then when she went to sleep back to the Husk, into the room where the Husk was, what are you crying at? What's wrong? Why? This is what she does. She's sick. She is actually sick. Ill. So all of a sudden she wants to hug her daughter. No. It's not about affection. It's about manipulation. You know that she likes a hug. You know that she needs a hug. And you know that that's her weak spot. Her mother. All she wants is a mother to hug her. And you know that, Husk, you know that. And I know that you know that. Now that you know that, I know that, you know that, I know that. Right? We know your games. So anyway, what does the beacon do? Just stands her ground. Doesn't sidestep. Doesn't push her away. Just stands there like a statue, to the point where the Husk knows it's not working. And then the Husk knows. At that point, she knows she's lost. Right from the start of the beginning, the beacon sent a shot across her bows. You've lost. I've got my arsenal is far superior to yours. And that's what the beacon is been able to develop over these months, couple of years. There's a stronger defence and a stronger arsenal. Not that she's going to use the arsenal unless she absolutely has to, but that's what she's done. She is no longer going to put herself second to the Husk. So, and that was it. The Husk knew. She knew she was defeated at that point. And I was so pleased when the beacon told us that. I was like, oh, because I knew she was going to go in for the hook. I knew it. I'm so pleased the beacon didn't fall for the BS. So anyway, the Husk is like, well, I don't want to go over old ground. And then within minutes it was like, so what is it I've done that's really hurtful to you? What? You've just said you don't want to go over old ground? Bear in mind that you've already been told by me what it is that you've done and said which is really hurtful towards us both, and in particular your own daughter. You've already been told. So what is this? Why is she going over old ground? She wants to know that, you know, it gives her a sense of power that she can hurt her own daughter, but also that she can be mean to her and affect her self-esteem. But also what she's actually doing, and she's admitted this to me in a later conversation, so I want to keep this in chronological order, but it's difficult when there's information that I know which is relevant to this time, even though I didn't have that information then. So the reason she wants to know what she said, which is so upsetting to the beacon, is so she can go through, dissect every single one and twist her way, wriggle her way out of each one. And that's why she wants to go through, that's why she wants to go over old ground. And every single thing that the beacon said was met with, no, that's not what I meant. First she'll say, that's not what I said, which is a lie and pure gaslighting. And now she knows that that tactic doesn't work, because the beacon and I tell each other the truth. She's worked that out now. She can't gaslight us in that way anymore. She knows that we tell each other everything and that we are solid together and that we don't lie to each other. So she's never going to win the outright lying tactic of, I didn't say that. So what she has to do now is go, no, that's not what I meant. And, well, what did you mean then? And then what she does is, and she's doing this to the beacon during this conversation, she completely reframes what it was she said to mean something completely different. And that reframing to something completely different makes it look fairly innocent. And that's what I meant. So, can I think of a good example off the top of my head? Well, I have got one, but I'm coming to it. So, that's what she does. She doesn't deny saying it, because she knows the lie doesn't work anymore. So what she has to do is twist the words. No, that's not what I meant. And get me thoughts. And then she's used the excuse of, I just get my words wrong. I choose the wrong words. It was the words, not me. It wasn't me. That's not what I meant. It was the words. It was their fault. The wrong words popped out of my mouth. And she was getting nowhere with this. And then she just resorted to more emotional blackmail. Like, I just worry. I think I'm 74-year-old. I might die tomorrow. Right, here's the emotional blackmail. Guilt trip. I might die tomorrow. And I can't bear that me and you don't have a relationship. I might die tomorrow. And now, what would a fully functioning, empathetic human end that sentence with? I can't stand that I don't have a relationship with you, and I think I might die tomorrow, and finish the sentence. Like you would say, I might die tomorrow, and I've never had a chance to make it up to you. No, she doesn't say that. What she says is, I might die tomorrow, and you'll never have had an opportunity to apologise to me. That's what she said. And wow. And the beacon went off it. She went, you what? I've done nothing wrong. And straight away she started backtracking. No, I know you've done nothing wrong. So what the hell have I got to apologise for? No, I didn't mean that. Those were the wrong words. The wrong words came out of my mouth. And the beacon is, what the hell have I done wrong? I've done nothing but right by you. No, I didn't mean that. Like, she's really dropped a clanger. She can't help herself. She can't help the cruelty and the toxic thoughts manifesting as words and blurting them out like somebody with some sort of Tourette syndrome. She can't help herself. Now, just to be clear, when the beacon says, I've done nothing wrong, what she means there is, it should be obvious, but just to summarise, since everything went hugely wrong after stepdad passed, it went hugely wrong because the Husk was treating the beacon like absolute trash. And the things she was doing, the things she was saying, behaving, absolute trash. Never an apology, never any acknowledgement, and never any, never any sort of display of remorse by changing behaviours. The beacon's done nothing to deserve that. Whenever the Husk is challenged, what has your daughter done? Nothing. She can't say anything because she hasn't done anything. What's happened is, I've stepped in. It's getting too much. I can't watch my wife being emotionally and mentally abused. I don't care who you are, Husk. I'm stepping in. And that's what's gone wrong, is that somebody has been willing to step in and stand up to a sick, demonic behaviour. And she's just getting worse over time. She lives too close to us, we now realise that. And she's ageing like milk. She's getting more sour and more bitter. And nobody likes aged milk. And I've had to step in, and that's what's gone wrong. And she doesn't like it because she's not getting away, like a child's not getting away with their bad behaviours. The parent has let them get away, they're used to it. And now a parental figure has stepped in, me, the protector, said no, that bad behaviour needs to change, you need to grow up. And that's what's happened. The beacon's done nothing wrong. So what on earth would she have to apologise to her for? And, remember that the Husk has also suggested that the beacon should stick a knife in me. Something that the beacon brought up with her. No, that's not what I meant. No, that's not what I meant. Well, what did you mean then? I just... Mark's... Boogeyman's... Ma'am. Mime. She just can't get her words out. Because she doesn't know how to get out of that one. She probably didn't suppose that I had told the beacon about that one. So she had to admit that she said it, but she had to worm her way out of it. And it doesn't matter how you frame that, Husk. It's not a good look, is it? Expressing in any way that I should be stabbed for protecting my wife. Go on then. Frame that any way you want. What, just because you're 74, you think that nobody should stand up to you and call out your cruel and callous behaviour? So anyway, this moment where she said, I just worry that you'll never have a chance to apologise to us, it just tells you everything you need to know. She thinks she can get away with everything, and any challenge should be recognised as that's the bad behaviour. Challenging her is the bad behaviour, and eventually you should just come to realise that and apologise to her, because she's 74, because she's your mother, gets away with anything. So and I think the only other thing during that time was that conversation between them was, she told another lie. She told the beacon that I had said to her previously, that I had said to the Husk previously that in 33 years of knowing her, I never ever enjoyed her company, and that every time I even went round to the house, be it for Sunday lunch or an occasion or whatever, Christmas, or even just general off-the-cuff visit, I was only going because I was being dragged along by the beacon. What a total liar. A, that's not true. But B, I never said that. I never said that. It's a total lie. And obviously when the beacon fed this back to us, it was like, what is she doing? She can't help herself. So, a few days later, and then she brought up the living arrangements, and the Husk brought it up. She said, anyway, I'm obviously not coming back. Well, what do you mean obviously? It's like it might be obvious to you, but it's not obvious to us because you haven't told us. I'm obviously not coming back. I think she wants the beacon to say, oh, why not? But the beacon just stays silent. We're getting, me and the ATM are getting a house together. Blah, blah, blah. And the beacon, at this point, the beacon's just listening. She's not interested in the detail. All she's interested in is, are you moving out? Yes or no? And she said that she's not coming back. And then she was just all blasé at that point, like, me and the ATM are getting a place, and we've seen one, but there was an offer, somebody else got an offer accepted, and this, it's all like, everything's fine and hunky-dory. And it's like multiple personalities. You flip from horrible, cruel, callous bitch mother into just blasé next door neighbour having a cup of coffee, and then it seems like there's a character for each scenario, and they flip instantly, and it's really confusing. Who am I dealing with here? And I think maybe she has got multiple personalities. So she pretty much said that she's not coming back, but she didn't make any solid plans. Like, she didn't say, right, I'm not coming back, so, I'll be out by, I'll have all of me stuff out by this date, and when do you need us out by, or nothing. She wants the best of both worlds. She was ran away from home. It didn't work. And that was her pride. Thinking that she's going to use a dysfunctional pride because things aren't working, run away, get the attention and everything will be alright. No, pride comes before a fall. You've had a massive fall now. You've had no option but to tell us that you're not coming back, because in these 8 weeks that you've been away, you've made things worse, and you've certainly given the impression that you're not coming back. You've annoyed us even more. You said these horrible things and more lies, and now you've made your bed, lie in it. She wants the best of both worlds. She doesn't want to hand that place back. Even if she does want to move in with the ATM, she's terrified that it won't work, because she knows, and she needs somewhere to fall back to. Well, you don't achieve that by ignoring us for 8 weeks. But she's terrified because she knows she's an unlovable character. She knows that she's unlovable, not attractive, and really deep down, well, not deep down is the abandoned child. Behind the mask, behind the husk, there's a dead person with no love, no joy, no peace, no empathy. Now, who the hell wants to live with that. And she knows that, so she knows it's not going to last. And she needs somewhere to fall back to. But pride comes before the fall. Now you've fallen, you've made your bed, lie in it. So anyway, she goes on holiday for a week. This is her 4th holiday in a year. Heaven knows where she's getting all of the money from to pay for all these holidays. So she's away on holiday. Me and the Beacon are discussing how we can plan this out to a full resolution, i.e. get her out. And we decide that when she comes back from a holiday, she's got 2 weeks to get her personal belongings out. 2 weeks. And when her personal belongings are out, then she has to hand the keys in. And then all that's left is her heavy furniture, which obviously she doesn't need because she's living in his house for the time being. And then, what we're going to say to her, we appreciate that you can't just get, furniture moved at the drop of a hat. You need somewhere to put it. You need a removal van to come and get it. And there's not a lot there, but it still needs to be done by. She still needs to hire somebody to do it. This is where me and the Beacon would always do all of this practical stuff, planning and physically doing it. Now she hasn't got us. She doesn't know what to do. So anyway, 2 weeks to get your personal belongings, hand the keys in, and then we'll let you store your furniture for an extra month, free of charge, until you can organise to get it moved out and put it into storage or whatever it is you're doing with it. Leave it if you want, I don't care. It's up to you. So the Beacon put this to her in a text. When can you, if you're not coming back, when can you be out by? And she said, anytime you like, it's just me furniture. Do you want to buy it? Do we want to buy it? She has got no shame. I mean, she's full of shame, but it's well buried, so she never has to deal with it. That's why they come across as shameless. Do you want to buy it? Do you think we've done enough for you? So she clearly doesn't want her furniture. She just wants the easy option, and she wants us to provide it to her on a plate, like we always have, because we're her surrogate parents. No, we don't want to buy it, but we didn't even respond to that. So she's saying she could be out whenever. It's other than her furniture. So the Beacon goes back and says, can you be out by the 26th of October, personal belongings, hand the keys in, and then you can have until the 30th of November to organise for removal of your furniture. And then the Husk comes back and says, a day later or so, I can't be out that quick. It takes time to organise things, and I'll need people coming and going, like me ATM. And say, what are you talking about, Husk? You said you could be out any time apart from the furniture. So we've given you 2 weeks, be out by the 26th, and then you can leave the furniture another month. So what are you talking about? You need to organise vans and have people coming and going. You just need to get your personal belongings. It's just like clothes and stuff. So anyway, see, she doesn't listen, or she doesn't read the text properly, and she doesn't think She just sees, hears and reads what she wants to see, hear and read. All she saw was you need everything out by the 26th. And what are you talking about? And it's just a battle. It's just a total battle. But then she says, and I'll need people coming and going, like me ATM. Who do you think you are? No, ATM's not coming on this property ever again. You can't get your stuff out of this property, then you're going to have to either get a stranger to help you, like a removal person, or you're going to have to swallow your pride and ask me. One of those two things. And I think that's where I'll leave it for this entry. Yeah, if you think you're bringing the ATM here, for 1 second, think again.